I listened to a podcast with Russell Brunson the other day. Oh shit! I forgot to talk to my team about this. Actually, we all listened to it. A podcast the other day of your identity is whoever you think you are, and then my good friend Alan sent me a message. Excuse me, not too long ago, saying you are whatever thoughts preoccupy your mind, and it goes into this whole really woo-woo thing about whatever's preoccupying your mind's identity you're creating for yourself. And then we can talk about, for me, this goes into athletics, business, parenting, right? And a good example Russell Brunson uses is I can tell myself I am a athlete, or I can tell myself I'm a world-class athlete who wins Super Bowls. You start to act differently based second one, right? Because you start to think of yourself as a world-class athlete who wins Super Bowls, then you start to act accordingly as if you are the athlete who wins Super Bowls and you're world class. And the way we talk to ourselves can be pretty amazing. And I'm telling you guys, is as you get in this entrepreneurship game, so much shit goes wrong. But the number one thing you got to do is like remember how am I talking to myself throughout my day? Because it's really easy to get down on yourself, really, because you're going to get punched in the face all day. To where I was listening to DM's podcast. He's like, bro, don't even about the bad shit because the bad shit's always happening. Like, yeah, nobody acknowledge that bad shit happens, but there's so much shit going on when you get to a certain level. Fuck it, bro. Keep on moving. So how am I talking to myself as, let's use this as an example. I'm a world-class entrepreneur who is worth $1 billion. So now I think of myself accordingly to where, oh yeah, well, this thing went wrong. Well, I would think this. Well, Newstrat, who's a billionaire entrepreneur, would be, yeah, it's just a little blip, it's a little hiccup. Always, let's just fix it and keep on pushing. Right, to where if you can just think slightly differently, you'll be able to handle a significant amount of problem better. Right, and I've in the last year as I've tried to switch up my own, mental mindset and who I think of myself as. Okay, so now I'm Stratton Brown, the entrepreneur, not Stratton Brown, the wholesaler. All right, now I'm Stratton Brown, the seven-figure entrepreneur and leader, and all these other things. And so now, whenever a new problem comes across me, I approach it in a different way. If you keep telling yourself you're one thing, you will approach everything that comes to you as that one thing. But okay, now I'm Stratton Brown, the investor, business owner, whatever, right? Now, whenever a problem comes across, I think of myself more as the business owner and investor instead of I'm Stratton Brown, the wholesaler. Brain thinks completely differently and you approach problems in a whole new way. So next time, oh man, you're running into really any type of problem, think of yourself, okay, easiest way to do it. What would Elon Musk do? What would X do? And then think of yourself as X person. Now we can really start cooking with some oil. Excuse me. And make some actual progress in what's going on upstairs. Because as long as we start to, as we keep thinking of ourselves as lesser and not as something, something trying to accomplish X, then it's not really going to, nothing's going to change for you, right? And that's why that is why I think investing in myself has helped so much in the last year of the way I've grown, because the way I've thought of myself, as stupid as that sounds and as woo-woo as that sounds and self-help wise and psychologist wise that sounds, I think of myself a lot differently at this point in time this year than I did last year. Over the amount of growth I've gone through, I have started to think of myself in a completely different light, as far as like, no, like you're an entrepreneur, you run the company, you're the head of the, you need to make decisions like X, instead of thinking of myself as one thing the entire time. Because if I would have thought of myself the same way at this time last year, we'd probably be a lot further along. Like I would have been able to take us a lot further. And this goes into what I talked about earlier. My cadence changes myself a lot differently.